going back to the mental aspect of things, like we feel we're alone in how we're feeling and what we're thinking and what we believe about ourselves. And then we kind of come to find out when we have these conversations is that a lot of us feel the same way. Nicole is also coaches. With talking with Nicole, and her coaching style is more about how your emotions play into how you're training, and like giving yourself permission to run hard on the hard days, but then also just challenge yourself in the things that you wouldn't think would be a challenge. Like, okay, is it okay if I just run close to what I'm supposed to run and stop worrying about the fact that I didn't run exactly like 45 minutes? Like, what if I stopped my watch and I like made a mistake and I did all this stuff? And like,
Which is fine. Like
yeah.
we bring a lot of judgment to our own sport. Like, but a lot of that stuff is really limiting of like, I spend a lot of time thinking about like, and this is like trying to cultivate awareness with my own emotions, but like, oh, do I really want to be anxious this whole run? Like, or if I put myself in your shoes, how much of your run have you spent being like, oh, I messed up my watch, so it's going to be 2 minutes off. Do I run more? Like just the
Yeah.
buzzing that you feel from the anxiety of like, is that how you want your run to be defined? Like, do you want all of your runs to feel like that? And like our answer is no, because we like running and we want to do it. Giving ourselves permission to like, oh, like I just kept my watch running when I was at the light. Oops. Oh well. You're gonna get more out of realizing it doesn't make a big difference and have confidence in being like 2 minutes is fine than being worried about it. Being like, I remember having like conversations in college where like I'd have friends who like, you know, we'd go out for a 45-minute run. So you go out like what, 22 and a half minutes and flip.
Yeah.
And I'd get back to where we started and it'd be like 44 minutes. And I'd be like, well, I'm done. Because we decided that the turnaround point was far enough for halfway, and then like see the like other friends like going on, and which is now like, can we get a round number on our watch? Like,
Right.
which I've seen you do, and I've seen
Yep.
it change.
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
Working on that.
it's like you'll go a lot. Like, it's not just you; it's people
Yeah.
in general. Like, you'll
Right.
go 2 minutes longer just so you have like a round number on your watch, and I can see it because everyone who has like perfect round numbers on their watch, like I can kind of understand what they're feeling to just be like, well, 44 minutes is what I ran today. I'm done. But then have other people be like, shit, I got to get the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
the difference in that, like the difference in the feeling that you take out of that run is very, very big. Walking away from your run and not being worried about it, carrying that anxiety probably into the next run, even burn out quicker too.
The burnout thing is so true, but like just how your perspective changes. And I've told this story before, but I remember like my very last workout for college, I was just running like green and white meat or something
Yeah.
like little like that, but some other team was coming down and we are just going to race. And I just remember my last workout, I was with Liz and like they were all like, oh, it's so hard. And I was like, I'd been carrying all of this stress of like competing and everything, and it wasn't about the workout being hard, it was all this other stuff that I was carrying with me, and I didn't have that anymore. And I was like, just my perspective had shifted.
Yeah. Well, the times that I like gave the least shits in a positive way is like always the time I've done the best. I don't know if you know, I was like always the one who was going to run slow, you know, like in between workouts. People be like, I'm going to run with Bush today because I know she's going to run slow. Like, because I'd see like teammates like struggling to run like their normal pace in the snow, like before we're going to go and run a hard workout in the track indoors. And I'd be like, I need to be ready for the workout. I don't need to prove that I could run 7-minute pace in 6 inches of snow on the river trail. Like, zoom out and have like that big picture of, so what if my 40-minute tempo run today wasn't exactly the same distance or a quarter mile further than it was last week? Like, I still did the work.
If you had any specific words of empowerment, what would those words be?
Probably that you have a choice. It's way easier said than done, but like, and it's hard to describe, but just if we take like the watch example, like if you're feeling anxious about getting exactly the right time or the right distance on your watch, you have a choice to do something that doesn't make you feel anxious, or you have a choice to decide to not be anxious, which is very confusing, hard to describe, very fleeting. Like, I can't always understand, like, I can understand all this stuff, but I'm still gonna like feel really anxious or be depressed or have a panic attack. I feel like I do this a lot. I feel like other people must do it too, but like you're running late and someone's waiting on you, and maybe they're a nice person who isn't gonna care. Maybe there's someone who's upset at you for being late and they're gonna be rude. But like in the 5 minutes that it takes you to get there, you don't have to be like, oh shit, I'm late, and decide to be anxious. You can still go in and be like, I'm sorry I was late. I really didn't mean to be. But you don't have to be buzzing anxious the whole time and then go in and prove to them that you feel so bad about it. Like you can be respectful and actually apologize and it's the same thing. But like you can choose not to feel anxious. Sometimes we're just anxious though, and that's hard. Main thing is like you have a choice. It's not always easy, but you do. And sometimes people will be like, I don't have one. It's just
Yes.
really hard to understand how you do.
And
Mhm.
it's not like one time, like it's almost like taking a shower or like brushing your teeth. Like make the choice every day, or make the choice every moment you may, feel anxious. So yeah, no, that's good. So it's consistent. It's not like a one wonder thing sometimes for certain people, and it's okay if you always have to make that choice multiple times.
Oh, yeah, because we all do. We all have
Mhm.
to decide, and, I mean, you can even just if it's not as easy as being like, "Oh, I'm gonna decide not to be anxious when I'm running late for this one time," like, you can decide how to handle your anxiety or your relation to it. Sometimes I can get to a place where, like, I'm anxious and I can't change that I'm anxious, but I can kind of observe what I'm doing while I'm anxious, and if I can do that, sometimes it, like, gives me insight to, like, what I can do next time.
Mhm.
This all sounds like super abstract things to talk
No,
about.
I was thinking about that. If I have an experience and like some emotion hits me and it doesn't really make sense with the experience, then I just have to it takes me a while, but I'll figure out why I'm feeling that way and it doesn't necessarily have to do with the action. It might just be like things that I am ashamed of make me angry or whatever. Like that it doesn't really play along with the actual situation, but it's just like watching my actions and then if there's similar emotions, trying to group those actions together has been something that's helpful for me as an athlete and just how I've grown up. I didn't really try to feel my emotions in the moment, and now I'm trying to do that. And I sound like a robot, but like I just,
No, no, no,
yeah,
I'm laughing because I relate. It's like push certain things away. Well, it can't bother me, so it doesn't. But like it
right,
really bothers you a lot and you spend a lot of energy like not letting it bother you. Or spend that energy kind of like figuring out why you feel that way, which is then when people are like, feelings. You shouldn't have feelings. That's stupid. You're weak. Like, or I'm smart and I'm like bolstering myself for like future things. And sometimes your feelings you have to work through with a therapist
right,
because
yeah,
a professional perspective.
right, right,
It's like not
right,
your friend
yep,
who's like, "I think maybe you feel this way." Like, no, let's talk to someone who's seen, like, thousands of people.
yeah,
But, like, being like, "Oh, so, like, the next time something like this happens, maybe I won't be as devastated or wiped out to be able to do, like, normal everyday things." Because like, as much as you wanna be like, "Oh, well, my grandpa dying shouldn't affect my work," it's gonna sometimes. Like,
hmm,
that's just real, and pretending that it doesn't really do a service to you, like, and that's
yeah,
what you talk about, like, it holds you back, like, "Oh, no, I'm not upset." Like, just imagine if you admitted that you were upset and you could understand how you felt, like, you just kinda level up,
right,
like, and then if you can understand your feelings and level up, maybe you can help someone else understand their feelings, and then everyone can level up.
right,
Everyone feels insecure, everyone feels ashamed, everyone feels excited, everyone feels happy, everyone feels sad. That's the human experience. When we act like we don't have those emotions, I mean, it's a lie. If our friends know those things about us, why can't we also know them about ourselves?
right,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
if I'm like, "Oh, I suck," and you're like, "Nicole, no, you don't." "Oh, that's nice. What if I could do that for myself and then be even better for you the next time you think you suck?"
I once saw a cartoon drawing, supposed to be like a woman being held by a guy with a spear. It said me, and then the guy with the spear also said me. You're protecting yourself,
Yeah.
basically. Like you be that person, the person that's protecting yourself too.
For some reason, we're, like, not allowed to speak neutrally about ourselves. We're definitely not allowed to speak positively about ourselves. Well,
Like they're conceited, they're full of themselves. No, I'm just empowering myself
Right.
because we're all human beings and we all have this in us to empower ourselves.
Yeah.
yeah, why can't we think we're pretty? We don't have to be assholes about it. We can be, that's your choice, whatever. You can be confident about your looks and also be a nice person for the people in your life. I'm not allowed to be like, "I look nice today." I keep thinking of this of an exchange that apparently you and I had, Jackie, at some
Yeah.
point in our lives. I feel like we were at cross country camp
Mhm.
on Lake Michigan. I feel like I'm gonna tell you this and you're gonna be like, "I don't remember this."
Okay.
You were like, "You know, Nicole, you just like you never speak poorly of yourself." And we're being like, "What are you talking about?" Because I was like depressed and like in a bad relationship and was like, I want the thing that she said to be true. Like, that's a great idea. But I
Yeah.
also feel like you're like, I don't remember that. I don't know, but it was this
Yeah.
magic thing that you said that like
Yeah.
we all should aspire to. Like, what is the why do we have to talk shit about ourselves?
Right.
Like, it's, like, required by society, it seems. Like, we
Yeah.
have to think we suck.
It would be like a random conversation, but like, oh wait, it's my turn to say something negative about myself. I have to say
Yeah.
that. I have to chime in.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. It shouldn't be a norm. It should be the norm that we're always speaking positively about ourselves.
Or just take compliments. I don't know. I'm sure somebody wrote about it. It was something about how, as women, like if you say like, "Oh, that's a nice dress," you'd be like, "Oh, this was really cheap." You know what I mean? Like to take that compliment and just, it's not that great. Whatever, you know.
Or like, "Oh, I got it at Target on sale."
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh, wasn't it, those are nice boots. Well, they're like 10 years old and blah blah blah, like your hair looks nice today. Oh, I actually didn't wash, like, you know what I mean? It's just like making yourself not seem as good. Like we don't have to do that other part. Just take the compliment and say thank you. you
Right,
know.
and then we waste time having a conversation that isn't about anything. We spend a minute and a half being like, "Oh, no, I don't look nice today." What are we talking about? And then you like make up stuff about yourself that you also hate. And then what are we talking about? Oh, I'm so stupid. Like, oh, you're not. What are you talking about? You gave me a compliment. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Maybe you were like, "Oh, you look nice," or something.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh," and you were like, "No, you don't get to debate it. I'm telling you it's a fact." That's perfect. My outfit's not cute. Like, no, I decided it is.
Yep.
So it's fact. It's a fact for me.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
saying that to
fact.
be nice. It's because it's true.
I hate you, but you look so cute that it's true. Like,
I need to not laugh into the mic.
one of the ways that I've learned to like get better at taking compliments is like when I get them, like
Yeah.
exercise that muscle
Yes.
of being like, oh, someone said something and like maybe they meant it. Not even like, oh, it's true, it's for sure true. Like, but they might have meant it. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Like someone gave me like a big compliment about like my creativity recently, and I was like, I'm gonna tell a friend. Like I texted Sarah and was like, so
Mhm.
and so said this really nice thing about me. So let me do them a favor by not doubting what they're saying, because they don't have to say it. They get to choose to say it. Like we could have a conversation without a compliment. And like I was like, also like they're in a field where like they know what they're saying.
Mhm.
So let me give it credit and let me tell someone so we can both be like together.
Like, no, it's true. It's very true. So
Yeah.
We take all the bad stuff in real quick. You know
Oh.
what I mean? We absorb it, we revisit it, think about it over and over again. But
you'll
one
learn.
positive comment, we're like, no, 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 this isn't true.
I challenge myself and my friends and other people to, if
Yes.
you're going to take in the negative, just at least take in the positive as neutral, even as neutral.
Right.
Also, I mess up all the time, so it is.
Well, that's the thing too, though. I feel like sometimes I'm like, if I sit with compliments, that I'm gonna like not do as well, or you know what I mean? Like it's just like, no, no, I have to keep working.
I feel like that's part of like sport too, is that we like internalize this idea that we're like not tough and we don't work hard. But what if we are those things? We don't have to prove it every day. I feel like that's part of our obsessions with running the right
Like,
time of the month.
exactly.
Is that, oh, if I don't run exactly 6 miles, then I'm not tough. But what if you are tough and then you
Right.
just run 0.96 and then you're still tough? It's like we don't trust that we work hard.
Right. That's
And that's
exactly
why
what it is. Yeah.
also some of the compliments that we get like aren't that big of a deal. They weren't like, you look so nice, I'm gonna give you $40,000. Sign this contract, legally binding. You have to act a certain. I said you look nice. That's cool. I can enjoy that. It also doesn't like solve my life. Who cares? Your life didn't change. It was like one of the first times I heard someone like say that they looked attractive
Yeah.
in a casual way. And like I paid attention to my feelings about it, just like how we're so programmed to think that like it's bullshit if you think you look nice.
Yeah.
And she was talking about job interviews and like how women can be threatened by each other, and she's like, well, I'm an attractive 20 something blah blah blah, and I was like, that was amazing that she said she was attractive. Yeah, why can't she say she's attractive? She is, and it's part of the story. Like, why am I trying to debate it? Why are we trying to debate compliments?
Because just because she said she was attractive, she's not saying everyone else is ugly.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
I feel like we should stop talking now or we'll just keep going.